Hello, so before I start on the review today, I just wanted to bring all your attention to something here. If you want to look at the back of the game, what it says right around here. What it says is basic reading ability is needed to fully enjoy this game while it's rated mature. So I'm not quite sure who this message is directed to, because I would guess that anybody 17 plus years of age would have basic reading skills. And if they didn't, they wouldn't be able to read the sentence to begin with to know that they might not fully enjoy this game. Well, anyways, that's just a little thing that I noticed. Let's start with the review now. ZombiU is a survival horror game developed by Ubisoft. The game is about an apocalyptic prophecy predicted by John Dee, which is being fulfilled through a zombie outbreak in London of 2012. Few have survived, and you will start off the game controlling one of these survivors. A man nicknamed Prepper acts as your guide throughout your journey.
This is the Prepper. Do you read me?
You will also meet a few other survivors as you progress, but there is not much depth in any of the characters you encounter throughout the game. The only character that you will get to know is Prepper, who makes random comments and voices his opinions through his transmitter.
There is no saving the world. No evacuation, no cure.
The game's atmosphere is great. The dark surroundings and the narrow vision your flashlight gives you throughout most of the game really enhances the fear factor and claustrophobia. The music and sound effects suit the atmosphere well, from eerie music all the way to the panic attacks from your character. They all add the survival horror experience. In terms of survival horror, this game does it right. It tries its best to be realistic by putting you in those shoes of your average Joe Blow and pitting you against zombies. This is not exactly a good thing, and I will explain in a bit why when I talk about the gameplay. In terms of raw graphics, I was not very impressed. I was expecting more detail from character models and objects. Not only that, there were small parts of the game where I experienced drops in frame rate. ZombiU doesn't do much storytelling either. This is reflected by the lack of cutscenes and the overall lack of character interaction with other survivors. There were only about 5 to 6 brief cutscenes in the entire game. Other than that, a story could be told through collectible documents, audio logs, and the like. Also, some of these collectibles are easily missed because of the dark environment. Now onto the gameplay. The gameplay consists of this, and then doing this, and this, and this, and of course, this. Well, no, there is more, but let me start off by talking about this cricket bat. This is the first weapon you receive in the game, and it is the only melee weapon you will get. You will be using this cricket bat for the majority of the game, due to your incentive to reserve ammo. There is also no weapon degeneration, which does not match up with the realism this game tries to achieve. Another aspect that I did not like about the melee system is that your character only has one type of swing, and that's overhead. Whether you are in a room with a very low ceiling or facing a row of zombies, you will only be able to swing in one direction, and that's overhead. I found this to be unrealistic and infuriating at times. There is a non-lethal melee move where your character will push away a zombie, but does no damage. This is useful if you get overrun. Good thing though, the game does give you firearms. These include handguns, silenced handguns, sniper rifles, crossbows, machine guns, shotguns, carbines, and turrets. Throughout the game, you can find upgrades to these weapons. To make the most out of firearms, you will want to pull off headshots for a one-hit kill. Generally, I found the firearm gameplay to work well, except it's unfortunate you don't get to use the motion controls to aim for the more common guns, like the handguns and shotguns. If you happen to die, you will spawn as a new survivor while your weapons are with your old zombie self. You will have to track down your previous survivor and reclaim the items. ZombiU also has explosives and other tactical weapons, which include grenades, Molotov cocktails, mines, and flares. These weapons definitely come in handy when it comes to zombie hordes. If you really can't hold off a horde of zombies, you can always run into a room or building and barricade the door behind you. I found this to be a neat feature. Generally, you do not want to be crowded by a bunch of zombies because one bite from a zombie means game over, unless you have a loaded viricide shot. If you don't have viricide, there is no way you can counter the one-hit KO. I found this instant death zombie attack to be quite broken because you don't get viricide until a good quarter into the campaign. All these items that I just discussed are managed through the prepper pad that the prepper gives you. Picking up items will be done by dragging them from the container to your backpack on the touchscreen. All the items in your backpack can be assigned to shortcuts, which you can access by simply tapping it. This way of managing items is neat, but I can't say it's more efficient because you have to constantly look down when you want to change items. When you are not managing your items, your gamepad will show a map. You must scan certain objects to unlock a map for each area. One bad aspect about the map is that you cannot set a custom marker. The prepper pad also comes with a radar, and it is great for planning tactical moves ahead of time. You will come across a few mini-games when picking a lock, filling a viricide shot, removing a barricade, or uncovering a password. This game isn't easy. At the same time, it's not difficult because of challenging enemies or well-designed puzzles. Rather, the high difficulty comes from a lack of combat skills and stamina your characters have. Many argue that this is realistic, and I completely agree, but I feel that there needs to be a balance between realism and fun, or else the game will not be enjoyable. However, you may find joy in this game if you like a slow-paced survival horror, where patience and planning will get you to the finish line. However, if you enjoy a more aggressive action survival horror game where the character you control have a lot more skills in combat, then this game may not be for you. Whoa, that was an epic fight. Definitely the best survival horror game of the year. What? I only get one melee weapon? Where's my knife? Where's my grenade launcher? Man, this game sucks. I want my money back. Save points are represented by a bed, and when you make your character sleep in it, the game saves. The only challenge is that you have to search for these beds in each area you wish to save. There are symbols to help you locate the bed, but I felt it was an unnecessary detour from the gameplay. There is a fast travel system in this game which is represented by a sewer entrance, which you also have to locate first before you can use it. In terms of replay value, you can attempt to start a new game on survival mode if you haven't already done so. You start with a survivor in this mode and he or she is the only one you will get, which means it is game over if you die. A neat little feature ZombiU has is called Me as a Zombie, where you can zombify your own face through the camera on the gamepad. There is no online gameplay, but there is a leaderboard where you can view high scores. On top of that, there is a local multiplayer mode where 2 players compete to capture the most flags. One player spawns zombies while the other fights them off using the Wiimote and nunchuck. Also, players around the world can leave messages on the walls using a spray can that you can see during your campaign. You can do the same once you obtain a spray can. Alright, so to sum up my review of ZombiU, it's a slow-paced survival horror game that requires patience and planning. The atmosphere and the sounds do add to the survival horror experience though, but the story is very straightforward and there's very little character development. And it does try to be realistic, but some may find it infuriating at times. That's all for my review of ZombiU. Hope you guys liked it, and if you did, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.